Hi, I am Carlos. Welcome to my channel and a special greeting to the new subscribers. I am making this crispy chicken with a balsamic glazed sauce. It sounds fancy, but it's really easy to make and it has a ton of flavor and very few ingredients. So let me know in the comments if you have made it this way or not. As I always say, cooking is easier when you are organized. So let's start with the ingredients. Here I have rosemary, thyme, and sage. If you have them in your garden, that's fantastic. If you don't, you can find them at any grocery store. Just look for a bouquet garni for chicken. It will be less expensive than buying them separately. They add a lot of freshness to the chicken. Tie them with kitchen twine. That will make it easier to get them out of the pan. For the sauce, I am using sugar in the raw, otherwise known in Spanish as piloncillo, panela, or dulce de raspadura. Almost all the grocery stores in the US carry it these days. Grate it or cut it into chunks, it will melt anyway. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments. I am also adding the balsamic vinegar glaze. Even though it is a glaze, it still tastes like vinegar. That's why we need to balance the flavor with the sugar in the raw and the maple syrup. And we're gonna need some homemade chicken broth. And salt and pepper, of course. The main ingredient here is the chicken. So I have 4 chicken thighs with skin and bones, and I put the salt and pepper under the skin. I don't know if you do it that way. Let me know if you do. It really seasons the chicken pretty well. And speaking of chicken, you should check out my chicken playlist from the top menu. In my channel's front page, there are about 15 recipes that you might like. Chicken recipes only. While I was doing that, I preheated the cast iron skillet on medium heat, and I added 2 tablespoons of sunflower oil because it has a higher smoking point. And I coated the skillet really well. One of the mistakes or things that I forgot to do was to pat dry the chicken before adding the salt and pepper. That does 2 things. The chicken is gonna splatter less and the skin is going to be crispier. It turned out crispy, but in my opinion, because I have done this chicken before, it could have been crispier. Now I will just add the herbs and let it cook that way for 15 minutes. After those 15 minutes or in the middle, baste the chicken with its own juices. The idea here is just to add flavor. Let me know how you're liking this recipe in the comments. See, the herbs already release all their flavor, so you can remove them after that. We're gonna cook the other side for another 15 minutes without moving or touching the chicken. And at that time you can start with the sauce. I couldn't because the stove is too small and I cannot have 2 big pans on it. The chicken is cooked and you can hear how crispy the skin is. It's like cooking the chicken on a barbecue, but on the stove top. It's just that simple. If you like what you've seen so far, give the video a thumbs up so other people can find it. I have the pan on medium heat for the sauce. Then I add the balsamic vinegar glaze, followed by the piloncillo panela or sugar in the raw. Once it starts to bubble, add the maple syrup. Allow it to cook for about 2 minutes. Then add the chicken broth and reduce. Add a pinch of salt to wake up the flavors of the other ingredients. Let it reduce for about 5 minutes or until you can form a line on the spatula or the spoon. Be careful, don't burn yourself, it's very hot. Needless to say, after doing that, wash your hands. Now it's ready, I just have to taste it. I served it with white rice and green beans, and I have both of those recipes in my channel, so look them up. For the thumbnail picture, I garnish it with fresh rosemary and thyme. The flavor is amazing. You should try it and let me know in the comments. Chaito, hope you like the recipe. Bye bye.